Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Rev that engine up again tonight. The Zags are back in action. Ranked number 15 now in the country. They're climbing back up the pole. 7-3 after those spectacular wins a week ago. Drew Timme looking to make history tonight. Just a bucket, and he'll tie himself with a great Ronny Turiaf for number 7 all time in Gonzaga history. If he comes out and connects from downtown, he'll own number 7 all by his lonesome. Great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox. Oh, they're home, and they've shifted the gear, haven't they?
Well, it's nice to be home. They started the season with an unbelievably difficult schedule. It will get more difficult this weekend when they go to Birmingham to play Alabama, but the last week was great. They had a great challenge from Kent State, and then they beat their in-state rivals, University of Washington Huskies, after maybe the first 4 minutes, which was maybe the ugliest basketball I've seen Gonzaga play in years. The rest was pretty darn good. If they can keep improving, they got a chance to have a heck of a season.
And Richard, the world wants to talk about Drew Timme's feet, but man, he's so much more than that, isn't he?
Yeah, you saw every reason why he's an All-American year in and year out the last couple games. 26 points a game, 12 rebounds. But against Washington, you saw it on both ends of the floor, how he's improved defensively, hedging out on ball screens, creating turnovers, 4 steals for Drew on his own, and his passing ability, an area where he's grown every year. You can't simply just throw a double or triple team at him and force a turnover. He's able to now read that defense, find the open man, and he's the reason why no matter who Gonzaga plays, they feel like they've got a chance to win that game.
Oh, enjoy him, Zagville. Enjoys Julian Strother, too. Drew's got a wingman, like a real wingman.
Well, every Batman needs a Robin, and Julian Strother is kind of stepping into that role. Last year, he just kind of found open opportunities, and he was really good at that role. This year, he's had to step up consistently to relieve pressure from Drew. 3 double-doubles on the season, including 18 and 12 against the Huskies. He needs to continue to evolve and grow into that role, and so far, he's been really good at it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, some bumps and bruises along the way, but that chemistry is growing in Zagville. Artwork tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Zags and the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Starting lineups to tip off when we come back. Holiday season is here. Look at the beautiful lights downtown Spokane. Winter. The Arctic is showing up tonight. Going to get chilly outside. Those streets and roads are going to freeze. Be careful out there, Zagville. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, access your account 24/7 with digital banking at Numerica Credit Union. Zags begin with Strother, Hickman, Bolton, Timme, and Anton Watson. Keyshawn Williams leads the Huskies with about 17 points a game. Tariq Nutter at 12.5. They have 3 players in double digits. Drew Timme, there you see the numbers we keep talking about. Currently at 17-21. His first bucket will tie him with Ronny Turiaf, which this is what I love about these graphics, is that we get to go back and relive all of those great names. Look at Turiaf, Santangelo, Pangos, Harris, Morrison, McPhee, Burgess. I think Richard played with Frank Burgess. Jimmy,
right
first bucket will tie
Just
him with
1 year. Just 1 year.
There is Rashawn Burno, the Northern Illinois head coach in his 2nd season. This team out of the Mid-American Conference. They know all about Kent State. The Zags took that future tournament team down last week. Mark Few in his 24th season. And here is tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest, guys.
Well, they need to share the ball. They've done a really good job of that. First 4 games, less than 40% of their field goals were assisted. The last 5, over 60% of the field goals were assisted on.
And I think if Gonzaga defensively, the carryover needs to be there from the UW game. Speed up Northern Illinois. They average over 16 turnovers a game. Don't let them feel comfortable on their offensive end.
It'll be Drew Timme against number 14, Yannick Konen Niederhauser, a freshman from Switzerland. And Timme with the victory. All right, Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox, courtside. Gonzaga, Northern Illinois, underway Now at the McCarthy Athletic Center, Drew Timme, 17-21. First shot, fall away, bingo! Hello, Rony Turia.
Right off the bat, they go to him on the low block. Was surprised they didn't double. You would expect with the size advantage across the board for Gonzaga, you would see a double, but not the case. Conan Niederhauser in single coverage on Timme.
This is Keyshawn Williams, number 0 with the ball, near side to Nutter. Nutter with the ball. Timme the deflection, Strother with it. Back come to Zag.
We saw Timme really active defensively in that pick and roll against the Huskies. Great start right end of the floor for him as well.
Anton Watson, offensive rebound number 1, and he gets it back. Reverse goes. 4-0 start for Gonzaga.
Nice finish from Watson, but that's the beauty of having multiple ball handlers on the floor, whereas your Bolton, typically your 2 guard, but he can make point guard plays such as that in the pick and roll.
Well, not quite ready for the pass, but then he dumps it in, does Anthony Crump. That pass caught him off guard. Here's Timme. Spins on Crump. Spins back. Help comes. Too late. Timme now number 7, all alone. Matt Santangelo is next. David Colt, number 11. Conan. That's short on that 3. Bolton the rebound. Had his steam. Into the lane. A little bump. Squared up, missed the jumper.
See how quick Bolton is in transition.
This is Williams. Yet to take a shot. Averages 17 a game. There's the lob underneath. Conan can't catch it. Timme there to deflect it. Bolton. Anton Watson. He'll back in. Spin. Drew Timme's at the free throw line. Turns down the shot. Hickman. And the travel.
I wish he'd take the first one. What about you, Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that touch.
Well, you see it a lot of times in the mid pick and roll where he catches it on the short roll into that floater. Very similar type idea there, except out of the side pick and roll.
He's trying to spread the love, gentlemen. It's Christmas.
Hey,
I've got my
best player in the country, you got an 8-footer, you take it, right?
I've got my shopping done. I don't know about you guys.
I figured you'd say it something like that, Dan.
What'd you give me for Christmas
Never saw a shot you didn't like.
You got to be aggressive.
You do. Nice fake. Shot falls off by Zarik Nutter. And there's a foul called on Nutter at the other end. Should say, all those shots got to a first-team All-American. Is that a trophy, a plaque? What is it? What do you have?
Good question.
Like
I have them somewhere. I don't know where they are.
Is it a plaque or a trophy?
I do have
or
a
both?
couple plaques. I don't have a trophy.
Yeah.
I've got John Wooden All-American ball on a pedestal.
That's cool. That's cool.
I got a really fancy towel for playing the Maui Invitational. It's pretty cool.
Richard's like, I still have the backpack from the Maui Invitation. Oh, the flush inside. Up high is Harvin Ebergwin.
Coit's a really dynamic scorer at only 5'11". He draws a lot of attention, and he's also a willing passer, as you saw there.
That's actually Ebergwin. Let me get it right. Strother short on the 3. Rebound Williams. Bolton. Rozier, coast to coast. And meeting him at the rim is Anthony Crump, a redshirt senior from Inkster, Michigan. Threw it in the stand. But the Huskies trying to keep it close early. Gonzaga leads at 6-4, using defense here to shut down Rozier Bolton. Welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Here's your Arby's fan trivia question. Mark Few has been head coach of the Zags since what year? 01, 98, or 99? Text your answer. Your delicious neighborhood meat cracker. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meat. That answer coming your way momentarily. Of course, Coach Few tied the great John Wooden with that victory against Washington on Friday night. I asked him about it during the Mark Few show. He didn't make much of the number 664, which tied him with Wooden. He didn't want to talk about that, but he did talk about the fact that John Wooden is kind of like his idol, the guy that he looked up to, read all of his books.
I had a chance to meet John Wooden on a number of occasions, and my rookie year when I was with the Atlanta Hawks, we met John Wooden after pregame breakfast. And I had met him a few months before, and we had talked at that point for about 15, 20 minutes. At around the age of 90 or so, he remembered our entire conversation from a few months earlier. Asked about my wife, Heather, who we were engaged at the time, our first conversation. Absolutely unbelievable guy.
He remembered her name?
Everything. He remembered her name. He remembered that we were engaged at the time. Was asked how married life had started off. It was unbelievable.
So what's Heister's excuse?
Can't remember.
It's like he doesn't for anything.
Listen,
every season it's like, hey, Greg, I'm Richard.
Yeah. Listen, Santangelo. Here's Timmy. I got Santangelo and Axel Dench with me tonight.
Meanwhile, good double team there from Northern Illinois.
That was a good team.
That was a good team.
Here's Nutter, picks up the ball. And a reset for the Huskies. Hunter Salas about to check in for the Zags. Williams looking for his first shot. This will be it. Missed it, and then runs down the long rebound in the corner. Anton Watson stopped him at the baseline. And now down the lane, boy, that guy's got some jets.
Jeez, you're right.
Shoots the free throws.
You don't typically see Watson struggle keeping smaller guys in front. Right there, Williams just blew right past him, put pressure on Strother, gets to the line.
Williams, he's got a lot of freedom to score it, but he's pretty efficient too, right around 46% from the field on the season. 28 points on 2 separate occasions this year already. 32 last year in a game against Bowling Green.
He's just efficient at all 3 levels. Shoots it decently from the free throw line, mid-70s, 38% from 3.
Timmy and Bolton out of the game for Gonzaga. Ben Gregg on the floor along with Hunter. Zags 0 for 5 and 2 turnovers their last 7 possessions. Strother, quick trigger, missed everything. And that's off of Williams, out of bounds. Gonzaga ball, 18 on the shot clock. And you know this start won't make their coach happy at all.
Well, I don't think you could see a stretch any worse than how they started the UW game the other night. 6 turnovers, I think, first 7 possessions, 3 of them offensive fouls.
How about that jump hook from Hunter Salas?
I think as he gets more and more comfortable on the offensive end, he will earn more minutes. Defensively, you know, he might be one of the better perimeter players in the country on the defensive end of the floor.
He keeps improving like this, you're going to have to find him more minutes, a lot more minutes.
It's just every time he's on the floor, he makes a difference.
He does. Williams missing, Strother up high for the rebound. Might be the best at his position in the country at rebounding. And a whistle. And a block called on Keyshawn Williams, a junior from Chicago.
It's a tough call here. The elbow to the face.
Malachi Smith into the game for Julie. Strother checks out 0 for 2. Here's Malachi. He's not shot the ball yet this year the way he's gonna. Did have a big 24-point night But I think Malachi's going to have some big games yet to come for Gonzaga.
I mean, he's struggled last 2 games, 3 points, 1 of 9 from the field. He's shooting it at a decent clip, 40% from 3. But to your point, Greg, I mean, he's averaged 20 last year.
Yeah.
And so the proficiency, the ability to score while he's in the game just hasn't really materialized yet on a consistent basis. But you have to think that's going to come as we get further into the year.
That foul on Anton Watson is first. Nutter pinned over there on the sideline. Zags create the turnover. Malachi with it. He'll drive. Hickman for 3. A nice rebound inside by Zarik Nutter. Kind of held off Watson. Zags with just a 2-point lead here. 12:45 to play in the first. Gonzaga missed the shot. Ben Gregg the rebound. Gregg fake the transition 3. Runner in the lane, in and out. Watson rebound. Put back is blocked by Duro Sinmi. And Williams scoop shot at the other end won't go. Salas controls it for the Zags to Hickman. Nolan fake the 3. He'll drive the lane. It's booted away. Smith corner 3. Bang!
Good to see him get going. After the last couple of games, he's got that in him. And another good, simple play from Salas. Quick swing over that corner.
Malachi's got a beautiful jump shot. That ball's so high. Great arc on the shot. 10 on the shot clock now. And that's out of bounds off of Duro Sinmi. Oluwasegun Duro Sinmi, a sophomore from Nigeria. Malachi Smith. Zags need him to get going. Maybe that's the shot that does it. His first field goal. Zags up by 5. And you're back at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Here's your Arby's fan trivia question answer. Mark Few's been head coach of the Zags since what year? The answer was 1999. Currently his 24th season. 664 victories. Gentleman to my left, a part of a bunch of those. And it seems like history is being made every time this team plays. This program. Numbers are just
astronomical.
Crazy. Yeah,
7 straight Sweet 16s. They've been in a national title game twice.
I love reading the game notes every week with the Zag game. Like, it's just raw data. Like, just raw data. And Barrett Henderson, what a job he does with him to update them every time. That shot off by Efton Reed.
I don't know about that shot from Efton Reed. Got a chance to get in the rotation against Washington. Had some good minutes.
And that's the kind of play he needs to make, not the 3.
Yes.
Tip out.
But it's hard when you're trying to earn some extra minutes. You want to make an impact as soon as you get in.
Bolton will go to the free throw line.
Reed was good against UW.
Yeah, I thought he was really good.
Only played 3 minutes, but he was incredibly impactful. 4 points, 3 rebounds. Excuse me, 2 rebounds in that limited run. But it came at a critical time.
That was that stretch where they were kind of bogged down offensively. There was a little bit of foul trouble, and he did a great job of ducking into the middle, creating a problem and open things up for other guys. A lot of times against the zone, like the Huskies of Washington played, it's not about always creating an opportunity for you. Sometimes you cut, sometimes you screen, sometimes you duck in, create defensive rotations, open something else up on the weak side.
6-0 run for Gonzaga over the last 3 minutes in the second, but they've only hit 1 of their last 13 field goals, all coming from the free throw line. That shot from 3 off by Plantauskas. There's Ben Gregg on the post. Spins! Oh, Ben will shoot free throws. He loves to hunt threes out behind the line, and I love to see him with his back to the basket.
I was just going to say that earlier, the pump fake on the 3, that you know that's the scouting report on Gregg right now. He missed the floater there, just smaller man on him. He went in with a strong move, tried to score off the glass. You know, we don't get to see Ben play extended minutes all that often, but when you do, you really do see that the package that he has is very, very skilled on this end of the floor.
And foul called on Keyshawn Williams. That's his second. So Keyshawn goes to the bench from Northern Illinois.
And Ben's still in a growth phase of his career as he knocks down the free throw. I mean, he hasn't been able to truly break into the rotation where you know here's 18 minutes a game, but you see flashes of some really good stuff. 9 points against Purdue at the PK 85, and you know what? Purdue's pretty good. They're ranked #1 in the country now, so a good opportunity for him to gain some confidence.
Hot shot for three is off. Efton Reed the rebound. Let's not forget how young Ben Gregg is.
He came over halfway through his high school year.
And here's the catch.
Great pass.
And the finish, Efton Reed, the assist.
Yeah, rebound on one end for Reed and the assist on the other. Both of those simple plays, exactly what Gonzaga is looking from Efton to do.
Zags on a 10-0 run. They've opened it up. 16-6. Efton Reed drops the dime. Looking like a quarterback on that pitch. Had a little zip on it.
Straight two-seam fastball.
Yeah, thrown over the middle of the tight end. Here's your AP top 25 poll as of this moment. Zags number 15. Purdue, Virginia, UConn, Alabama, Houston. You know what I see right there in that top 5?
An opportunity for the Zags on Saturday?
A lot of defense.
Yes.
But I see an opportunity as well. And this is what's going on down at the University of Texas. Chris Beard arrested earlier today on alleged domestic violence charges, suspended without pay indefinitely. And the interim head coach Rodney Terry takes over. And the last check, Texas down against Rice tonight. So that having immediate impact on that basketball team that is one of the best in the country. Colt with the ball. Nutter drives on Smith. Spins. Loose ball. Bolton with it. Zags with numbers. Rozier into the lane. Reverse won't go. Ben Gregg battles for the rebound. Oh, missed it. Tip back won't go. Falls out. And it's Husky basketball. Both Reed and Gregg had their chance.
A couple times now, Gregg's been right point blank. Hasn't been able to get it go. First time came away with a couple free throws, but gotta be able to start finishing those underneath.
David Colt with the basketball. Screen set. Efton Reed with the hedge, but a little too aggressive. He does not agree with the call, by the way.
Well, he does a really nice job hedging. You know, you're 7 foot. The guy that you're trying to steal the ball from is not 7 foot. Just, you've already done your job. You've hedged. You've stopped the ball handler. Just go back.
Retreat.
Retreat. You're not hedging to get the steal. You're hedging to slow them down.
Anthony Krupp with the ball. Drives on Gregg. Nice finish there.
Yeah, nice little drive there. Krupp.
Big Ben. I think Ben Gregg's going to be a stud in time. Foul called. Ben Gregg going to leave the game. Drew Timme back on the floor. And Gregg turnover against Gregg. Thought there was a foul call over there, but evidently not. Here's Williams back on the floor for the Huskies with 2 fouls. Number 0. Niederhauser, number 14, back on the floor as well. Crump tried to go to Conan Niederhauser. Claims his hand was hit or the ball was deflected. Drew Timme turns around and says, "What are we doing?"
I like how Efton Reed tried to sell it. It's just run on down the floor. It's like a pickup game. There's one former Zag in a pickup game you were never going to win an argument with. That was John Stockton. Just going the other way.
I think you say Quentin Hall.
Well, that too. I guess there's a couple of them.
Colt with a drive. Reed Efton up in the air with both hands to shut that attack down. Malachi Smith to the post. Here's Timme. Bangs in. Skyhook. And it goes!
Stop it.
Producer Chauncey Jones in the truck has got to love that. His favorite player possibly of all time, the master of the sky hook, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, probably brings a smile to his face right now.
Oh, Drew Timme, there ain't nothing he can't do on a basketball floor.
Like that.
Gonzaga ball. Good defense by Bolton. Armandas Plantauskas a bit out of control. And yes, Stan, I use the word ain't. Okay, I use that word just for emphasis. It's not one that I commonly use.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, thank you. 10-point Zag lead. Smith has it taken away by Crump. Crump takes it the distance and lays it in.
Nice job from Crump being in the gaps. Malachi Smith really had no place to go on that penetration.
Reed, a lot of contact with Niederhauser inside. Salas drove to the baseline, and a whistle and a foul called on Anthony Crump. 7:24 to play. Efton Reed, the big block there.
Just inhaled it.
It's like old school basketball here. Two-handed block, and then the sky hook through Timme. Whoa, what a night in Zagville. And welcome back. Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Primera. Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Dan Dickau earned some money.
Well, I think Gonzaga's bench has to continue to get more comfortable in games such as this. Efton Reed has been good so far tonight. Came up with a big block. Hunter Salas is continuing to expand his offensive game. Malachi Smith, there's been a little bit of inconsistency, but that's what he can bring you, is a threat from deep. And Ben Gregg continues to make his impact felt. It doesn't always occur with stats with Ben Gregg. I think one of the things that he brings is a passion for the game. He plays really hard. At some point, that effort is going to turn into statistical impact, but right now I think he's doing a tremendous job early in his career.
Energy, right? Energy.
Yes. It's one of those things you can't stat out and compare through analytics.
Well, look, that bench is very competitive over there. You've got to find any way you can to get on the floor. And if it's bringing energy, that's what gets you out there. That's your advantage. Ben Gregg has found his way, and he's taken advantage of his opportunities. That's the key. Here's Bolton. Drew Timme at the elbow. Now he goes to work on Crump. Jump hook.
I don't know why you wouldn't double him.
I was just going to say, if you don't double, you're just saying go ahead and get two.
But two teams doubled and tripled them all week last week, and it didn't work.
Well, I mean, but I'm not saying any of the options are perfect. But if you're not going to double, he shoots it at 65% around the hoop. I mean, that's
not to argue, but that's a tough shot he just made, right? Maybe not for Drew Timme, but that's a tough shot.
I just don't. I think for Drew, that's automatic.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. All right. I'll back off, Richard.
I mean, yeah. If I had shot that while you were calling games, you'd be like, "Whoa,
what is he shooting
I can't believe he made that." With Drew, it's like there's another.
Nolan Hickman inside. Nolan's first field goal. Zags up by 12, 22-10. Coleman. That is Conan Niederhauser, Switzerland.
He's a big piece to Northern Illinois as Timme gets fouled. If they're going to finish higher in the MAC standings than their preseason poll indicates, they're going to need some production from him. Hurt early in the season.
Foul on Nutter. And Drew at the line. You can tell he wants every free throw to go in so badly. Right, he shoots in the 50s. He's so good, but yet that's his Achilles heel, and you can tell he concentrates so hard. He wants it to go in.
One place as a player, you need to be selfish in practice and in games. Be selfish Knock down your free throws, but yes, that has been an Achilles heel throughout the course of his career.
He's 2 for 2 tonight. I think he hit his first 4 on Friday night against Washington.
He did. I think he missed the next 4.
Yeah, he ended up 6-11 from the free throw line.
But it's the fouls he draws, guys. Yeah. 19 fouls drawn the last 2 games. I mean, that's just a ridiculous number.
There's a nice finish. I like the game of this Anthony Crump.
That's what I love about Richard, though. He looks at the positives. Greg, you tend to look at the negatives.
Well, nothing negative about that, Dan. The two-handed flush by the great Drew Timme.
Where are we now on
the
points watch?
Well, he's on his way. Hey, Matt Santangelo, take cover. We're coming in. Keyshawn Williams playing with 2 fouls, yet to score. Crump now.
Gonzaga's guards have been much better getting over the top of screens and pick and roll situations tonight.
And that's a deep 3 there by Colt that's off. Possession stays with Northern Illinois.
At the practice I was at a few days ago, that was a point of emphasis. Get over the top of ball screens so that we don't have to get into rotational coverages or switches unless it's absolutely necessary. Such an advantage defensively when you can trust the perimeter defender to guard in a one-on-one situation.
Williams from 3, there's his first bucket.
He's good. Just always on balance, so quick.
Keyshawn, a junior from Chicago. Boy, the Zags had a great one from Chicago, didn't they?
Zach Norvell and Jeremy Pargo.
Couple good ones. Ten-point lead. Snacks, and I tell you, Pargo was electrifying.
Oh,
he was so much fun to watch.
All-time guy here, just and fearless. I love that about Jeremy.
Yeah. Backdoor, incomplete pass to Plantowskis.
Yeah, no double here. And Drew just, I mean, he's just too good. Spins away to that baseline. It's so soft off the glass.
9 turnovers now for Northern Illinois. There's a foul on Niederhauser. He's got to be careful there.
He's frustrated with the call, but there's clearly a bump there.
Well, he's got to realize that his strength on the defensive end comes in guarding the low block. Just quickly get out, hedge, be a nuisance, and get back. You can't afford a foul 35, 40 feet away from the basket.
That wasn't a bump, that was a collision. Timme has scored 14 of the Zags' 28 points tonight. Also has an assist. Here's Hunter Salas, who I just think has arrived.
Defensively, I said it earlier, he could be one of the best perimeter defenders in the country right now. Offense is coming around, and we've talked about his jump shot, but when you watch him at the free throw line, everything about it looks more consistent and smooth, and a nice high follow through with good rotation this year as opposed to when he arrived on campus a little over a year ago.
I think his offense is more than just coming around. We've seen him play the point. I've seen him distribute. I saw him on the post earlier tonight. Right, we've seen him hit 3s now.
Look,
he's becoming a weapon.
He's obviously a guy who just, you've got to find a way to play him more. You know, as good as your rotation is, say 1 through 5, 1 through 6, you have to find a way to get him on the floor.
15 on the shot clock. Williams drives. Watson there with the help. Nice finish. Keyshawn Williams.
Watson did everything he could and helped side, being vertical, straight up and down. Great finish.
Hickman. Timme again. No, there's a poke. The double team didn't come, but Drew kind of dribbled into one, didn't he? Free throws, 3:52 to go here in the first half. Drew Timme with 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Williams with a drive here. The little guy right at Watson. Tough finish. And welcome back. There you see Drew Timme now at 1,735 points. He's 75 points away from tying Mr. Santangelo. And Kevin Pangos would be the next game. Elias Harris. There's a great Frank Burgess, gentlemen. Will anybody ever stand atop the stack besides Frank?
Well, I think he might be playing tonight. Gonzaga's got it. My math is 23 games left. That presumes 2 games in the WCC tournament and a game in the tournament, NCAA tournament. Drew would have to average about 19 a game. He's doing that right now.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
Throw it, man, throw it.
Oh, no.
With COVID, you get an extra year. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Drew Timme doesn't have aspirations to play at the next level, because we know he does, but he goes through the process. Maybe he doesn't like what he hears. He could come back for another year and completely obliterate the record book.
He'd be like the Frank Vermillion of scoring.
Combine the two.
Hey, we would welcome him back, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll pick him up at the airport. I'll be there, buddy.
I mean, I wish him nothing but the best in whatever career path he chooses to go in after this season. But just think about that. One more year is a possibility.
I think it's a real possibility.
NIL.
It's a total game changer, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice finish there by Harvin Hartwood. Drew Timme. Double team came that time, got the ball out of his hand. Malachi Smith. Teardrop goes.
Just a good read. Drew gets doubled. Quick kick out. Into Salas to Smith, and Smith with the easy play after the pump fake. Good offense from Gonzaga.
12-point Zag lead.
Gonzaga's done a great job limiting David Coit. 0 of 4 from the field. Hasn't scored yet. He's their second leading scorer.
Here's Williams. 4 on the shot clock. Colt has to shoot it. Over Hickman.
He heard you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Downtown. Wow. Colt's first bucket. Hickman inside, falls off. Loose. Colt grabs the rebound on the run. From the corner. Shot is off from Platoskis. Shot missed by David Coit. Williams with it. 10 on the shot clock, 2 minutes to play. Step back, 3 from Williams. And the Huskies are to within 6. Williams with 10.
Ooh, Watson got away with a push-off, and look there.
Yeah.
Good high-low. What's not called is not a foul, but Rashawn Burno over there pleading his case to no avail.
Here's the lob to the rim. Oh, wow!
Well, they tried that same play a couple possessions ago, but the weak side was there. That time they vacated the help side. Tremendous finish and pass.
Smith on the ground, and a timeout is called. Coit can't believe the call, but it is granted to Malachi Smith. Stops the clock with $1:13 to play. Zags up by 6. Highlight of the first half for the Huskies. The lob to Williams. Keyshawn can get up, gentlemen.
Great pass from Coit right on the money. Good execution. Vacate that weak side. Drew Timme got caught on that top side as that back screen was occurring, allowing an easy run to the rim from Keyshawn Williams.
All right, Northern Illinois, founded in 1895 out of the Mid-American Conference, same as Kent State, in case you're wondering. Famous alumni, Jimmy Ward, who I've been told is a defensive back for the San Francisco 49ers, and Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson.
Dan, that's a cartoon, a kind of adultish cartoon.
He's from the Simpsons era.
I love Homer Simpson.
You do?
Bart?
Bolton
I
with
was
the
surprised
basketball.
that Craig didn't weave in some
Like Pittsburgh
Steeler reference.
Or like,
Oh, boy. Timmy left hand, falls off. Rebound by Crump trying to save it. And it is, it's off Gonzaga. And they, all right, they change their mind, they get it right. Zag coaching staff came halfway off the floor when the initially gave it to Northern Illinois. Gentlemen, I have to admit, 58 seconds left, I did not envision a 6-point game.
Well, you know what I say, anything can happen, so.
Roger Bolton downtown long. Crump with the rebound. Their 16th rebound of the game. Zags with 18.
You got a 2-for-1 opportunity. Do the Huskies want it if they choose?
Here's Coit. Ben Gregg, great anticipation, slow it down. Got it to Timmy. About 2 seconds differential between the two clocks. Roger will drain it down. Where are you going here, gentlemen?
High pick and roll.
Yep, mid pick and roll, try to get Timmy in that short roll.
So you're awfully quick to say that you don't think Northern Illinois knows that or thinks that? Here's Timmy.
Shot clock
Didn't get it off in time. .6 to go first half.
Gonzaga's got a couple fouls to give if they choose.
Here's Coit. He got it off in time. Ooh. That was close. Still just a 6-point game as the Zags go into the locker room. 36 points on the board. They gave up 30. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Well, Gonzaga struggled shooting it from the field, 41%, including 1 of 9 from 3. I think a lot of that has to do with Northern Illinois' defense.
I love Northern Illinois' energy, and offensively they didn't really get sped up other than to start the game. Gonzaga forced 6 early turnovers, but after that, Northern Illinois settled in.
36-30. Zags with 5 turnovers. Northern Illinois with 10. 6-point lead for number 15. Boy, that's not going to be a happy locker room. Halftime straight ahead. And we're back at halftime. Drew Timmy passing Ronnie Curry off tonight on the all-time scoring list. Now currently number 7 all-time. About 75 points behind Matt Santangelo, who sits at 6. We're at halftime. Gonzaga, Northern Illinois, 36-30 our score. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox. Well, Drew Timmy was Drew Timmy. Let's start there. Let's keep it positive.
Look, it just keeps it rolling, doesn't he? After averaging 26 a game the last couple games, he just continues to pick up where he leaves off. 16 points there in that first half, incredibly efficient, as you come to expect, 6 of 9, and really did it for most of the way down low. Just very patient. Northern Illinois not really sending a lot of resistance with a double team, and if they did, it came late once he'd already gotten into his move, and you saw his full bag tonight. The Kareem hook, the spin-off contact here off the offensive glass. Really the one lone bright spot offensively for Gonzaga. You look at Strother, didn't score in the first half there. Bolton just 1 point. It's been all Drew Timmy there in the first half.
Yeah, 6 of 9 from the floor. Keyshawn Williams, boy, he's good.
He's very good. He started off a little slow, missed his first 2 shots, but the last 10 minutes was the Keyshawn Williams show for Northern Illinois. Ended the half with 12 points, but you made a mistake in pick and roll coverage. He made you pay. You got him in space. He's going to get you on your heels, and then he finished this incredible back screen lob, which, quite frankly, I think it got a lot of the student section behind us excited.
We got about 10 seconds. Coach Hughes saying what in that locker room right now?
We got to be better.
And it's how loud. On the decibel meter, it's how loud.
Well, what could be worse if it's quiet? If he's not yelling at you, you know you're in real trouble.
Halftime continues from the McCarthy Athletic Center. The Gonzaga halftime report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spot treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Winning, it's in our nature. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Northern Illinois ended that first half on a 12-6 run. Trimmed the 12-point lead for Gonzaga down to 6 at 36-30. Gonzaga's bench, always important. I know it's been confirmed by these two. It's either really loud in there or it's a really cold stare, which might be just as loud.
Either way, you can't wait. Either way, you can't wait for the second half to start.
Yes. All right, bench, gentlemen.
I think they had great production off the bench. Efton Reed, a big block, but I thought he gave good minutes as well. And then Salas Gregg with 4, Smith with 5. If Gonzaga is going to be as good as they possibly can be, they're going to have to develop consistency on the bench.
Look, 13 points off your bench, really efficient, all impactful. If you look at the starting lineup, 16 points from Drew Timme, 7 points from the rest of those starters. It's been the bench there in the first 20 minutes that's kept GU, obviously helped GU get this lead.
Zags did not shoot it well from 3. They did not turn the ball over at a high number, just 5 points. Points in the paint, they dominated there, and yet they lead by just 6.
Well, just 6 assists on 13 field goals made. This is a team in Gonzaga that we were accustomed to seeing them assist them on, 55, 65% of their field goals made. So, Northern Illinois, there's 2 teams playing here. They've done a nice job, and they've really it's pretty evident. They're saying, look, Drew Timme is going to beat us. That's fine. We're not going to let anybody else get going.
This is the psychology of the game, those very emotionally charged games a week ago. Zags in a dogfight tonight. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Oh, look at that shot downtown Spokane. Ice skating.
I can't wait to get out there.
Throw some marshmallows by an open fire. Oh, wait a minute. That's chestnuts by an open fire.
I think you're good either way.
Okay, good. Hey, here's Williams, Crump, leading scorers in that first half. Zags, Timme, and Smith. What do you see in those numbers?
I see that Smith's your second leading scorer. That's not something you would expect to see. So, to your point earlier, Greg, last week was really emotionally charged. 2 really good teams in Kent State. UW certainly looked the part of a big conference school. They've got to find some energy here. We'll see everybody on the other side. Another good second half coming here at the Kennel.
Welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's the second half now between Gonzaga and Northern Illinois. Zags up by 6 as we begin 36-30. Home court advantage, none greater in America than the Zags. Now 70 consecutive wins. Chance to get to 71 tonight, tying that mark that Arizona has held since 1985. The next home game for the Zags would be on December 20th against Montana. Big game tonight. .15 on the shot clock. Williams with the basketball. A lot of dribble here. This is Crump. Watson guarding. Crump drives, got it to the rim. Strother clears the miss.
First miss of the night for Crump. Perfect. 4 of 4 in that first half.
Drew Timme, 2 more.
With the left hand this time, too.
As a post player, you would know much better than me, Greg. Or excuse me, Richard. It's
Greg probably knows better than I do, too. It's all good.
Finally, I did it.
He's admitted it on national TV. And Williams from the corner hits it. Big 3 ball, and he's fouled.
Might as well turn my mic off for the rest of the night.
Greg,
but Richard,
Greg, tell us what it was like when you played.
As a post player, the whole idea is create contact, get them leaning one way, and spin away from it, right?
Absolutely. There's another look here at Williams getting hit, still knocking it down. And that's what Timme does so well. He gets the defender off balance.
Yeah, that was just a 2 feet clearly not behind that three-point line, but a three-point play nonetheless. Timmy is fouled by Yannick Conan Niederhauser. So you want me to tell you when I was?
Yeah,
what it
please
was like
do.
Yeah.
Well, I was big for my size in the 4th grade.
Is it 5th grade CYO here?
And guys, Williams now with 14 points for the Huskies. So Drew Timme at the line. Gentlemen, I was at shoot-around today. I do not believe the Zag team was expecting a fight tonight. I think, no, I did say something to coach. He says, Heister, cool your jets. You know, you still got to play the games. However, I don't think the others really expected a dogfight.
And that's part of some young players finally getting a position where the responsibility is on them to perform for the outcome of the game. And I think when that's a learning curve. Northern Illinois, they've been road warriors throughout this early season. If you just look at opponents, you know, they lost at Idaho by 37 about 10 days ago. You would think it's a cakewalk, but that's why you play the games.
Drew Timme going to work off offensive rebound. Hickman back to Drew, 10 on the shot clock. Drew, another sky hook, and rattles in.
It's just like the ultimate code breaker is Drew Timme. We're struggling to score everywhere in our starting lineup. Let's just get him the ball. That's an impossible shot right there.
He's going to bring it back. All the youngins are going to be practicing that in the driveway in the spring.
Well, what every guard needs to work on is what Williams just did right there. A quick one-dribble pull-up. You know, so much of the game these days is based on the analytics of threes, layups, get to the free throw line.
I mean, look at this. This is just kind of silly. You know, it's just got a couple bodies around him. 8-foot, 9-foot hook, and Williams with the response. We've got two guys here going head-to-head.
Look, that's why Kareem scored so many points. You cannot defend that shot.
Who's the greatest player of all time in your opinion, Greg?
Oh, it's not even close, but thank you. Strother connects.
See if that gets Julian going here in the second half.
Dan's trying to get Heister going. Is what he's trying to do.
Just say no, Greg. Just say no.
Williams. The miss. Timme, the rebound. And now Drew with the handle. Hickman three. Bingo!
Make it easy on yourself, Nolan Hickman. You got a big like Timme who's got the ability, the freedom, the skill to bring it up. Find an open area and be ready to shoot.
Timeout Huskies. Zags have hit their last 3 shots in the second half. They've extended it out to a 12-point lead. Drew Timme, 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 of his 3 assists there. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Gonzaga 46, Northern Illinois 34. Huskies are road warriors, man. They've been on the road for a while now. 8 consecutive games. This is number 7 of those 8 games. They'll travel 16,000 miles. 2-4 in the first 6 games, coming off a 37-point loss at Idaho. Down by 12 here tonight against GU. 17:39 to go. Long way to go. Strother, Watson, Timme, Hickman, and Bolton on the floor for the Zags. Crump with it. Hand off to Williams. Gotta keep an eye on him now at all times. He's heated up. This is Coit. Driving the lane, bounce into the corner. Velasquez got away with a shove. As Strother looks at the official, no call there. Clearly extended that left arm. Drew Timme, skip to the corner. Strother three, short. Velasquez the rebound. Coit from 17, that's short. Nolan Hickman with the catch. into the lane. Bolton fakes the three. Rozier runner. And he's fouled. Chance for three for Rozier.
He is so quick. I mean, he got down that floor on the opposite wing from where Hickman was bringing up. And then upon that closeout, he just attacked. 2 quick dribbles, floater game.
Foul on Crump, his second. Anthony from Michigan. Remains a 12-point Zag lead. Three-pointer on the way, that's off. Rebounded by Watson. Armandus Plantauskas missed the shot. Strother the catch. And he is poked in the head. Foul on number 23, Harvin Ibargüen. That's number 2 on Ibargüen. Hickman needing help, got it to Julian. Julian the drive and the flush. Wasn't sure he was going to get it all the way up there, but boy did he. "14-point Zag lead. Strother now with 4. 3 on the way. Williams.
That's what happens when you gamble, though. Hickman goes for the steal. Then all of a sudden, everybody's in defensive rotation.
Bolton kind of caught in between both. And another great ball fake from Williams.
Through Timmy. Now 8 of 12 tonight, 21 points. Up inside.
Jeez.
He's fouled. Count the bucket, the chance for 3. Foul on Drew Timmy, that's his first. Another look at Anthony Crump against Drew Timmy. Great touch off the glass. It's down to 9. And welcome back. Tonight's Smiles of the Game brought to you by Delta Dental. We're on a mission to help make Washington State 100% cavity free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. 100% cavity free.
You are?
Well, I'm just wondering, so if you have a tooth filled, are you cavity free?
After it is filled, I believe so.
You no longer have a cavity?
I believe so. If the cavity has been fixed.
No, you still have a cavity.
It's not like
do?
a
Yes, because you
dog
have to,
burying its bone.
you often have to go in and get your cavity refilled.
You do often?
No, it happens when you do it. I cannot believe I got sucked into this conversation.
You did.
I wasn't paying attention.
Crump completes the 3-point play. We've got an 8-point game. Strother, Bolton, and Hickman, 4 of 17 from the floor for Gonzaga. No turnovers, though, but struggling to shoot and score. Nolan with 5. He's got the ball. Through Timmy. Anton Watson. Left it short. Big rebound there by Ibargüen.
This Northern Illinois team defensively has taken away the first option coming off pick and rolls.
They're really good on the weak side.
Slowed the game down, yes.
On the weak side, when they hedge out, the back line does a nice job of slowing down the roll man.
Now look, this is a team that you look at their record and their games this year, you're not impressed by them. They've been on the road a long time. They did have victories against Akron and Kent State a year ago.
But that's what you,
go ahead, Dan.
as we have a shot clock violation, that's what you see in college basketball. Because of the transfer portal, sometimes these preseason rankings, you don't know what you're going to get and how the teams will kind of fully mesh together. You get some grad seniors with some experience that go into different places to play, don't back down.
Well, I think that's the point, is you just don't know until you see it how teams have come together.
Yeah.
So often now, every year, it's just a whole new cast of characters. How do they blend?
10 on the shot clock. Timmy with the basketball. Watson. Can't reel it in. Turnover number 6 for GU. And there's the block on Watson. Anton picks up his second personal foul. Drew Timme, guys, 21 points. No other Zag with more than 5. They've got to find another option.
Without a doubt, they need to find another option. It makes you ask yourself, who's going to be the guy that's willing to step up? Julian Struthers showed flashes this year, but they need something from other guys right now.
Well, it's been Strother the last 2 games, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Just haven't seen that tonight.
Oh, there's a travel. That foot slid, a rebound. Timme, outlet near side.
Klintoskis is going to get him up now. He is not going to cheat and pass up looks.
Physical defense there by Klintoskis. Strother can't score. Julian now 2 of 6, and Coit can't catch up to the ball from Crump.
And an ill-advised pass there from Crump. Slow it down a little bit. Tough to deliver that pass on the move with the left hand.
It was one of the few mistakes he's made tonight. He's played a really solid basketball game. I had a chance to talk with Coach Berno yesterday. You know, and he's been coached by some of the best in the game. He played high school for Bob Hurley at St. Anthony's in Jersey City, New York, or Jersey City, New Jersey. There's a toughness about you that's developed when you play under Coach Hurley, and he's got his guys playing in that same manner.
Hunter Salas on the floor along with Malachi Smith. Ben Gregg as well. Timme with 21, looking for more. 23 and a chance for 4.
Great set there. Back screen to a down screen, and then just the deep seal from
That's the thing.
Tim.
It's just look how deep he catches it here. I mean, it's just one step into that move.
He's almost looks bored with it there. Just go easy 2. I'll go to the line for a free throw.
He's got 23. Free throw gives him 24. Drew now 9 of 13 shooting, 5 of 6 from the line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. If this isn't the college player of the year, I'm not sure who is.
Well, and I'm not sure what the schedule looks like this week for GU, but I suspect he might get a day or 2 off based on what he's done.
He got
the last
finals.
2+ games, man. It's unbelievable.
This game's easier, though. He's not getting doubled and triple teamed like he did last week. Williams with great elevation, and then Crump, the tip jam, even higher.
Jeez.
May I see that again, please?
You will. Malachi Smith, corner 3. That's short. Ben Gregg was held. And a foul called on Tariq Nutter. Nutter put both of his hands up on the shoulders of Ben Gregg and kept him down. Look at this tip jam. Wow. By Anthony Crump.
Not just the dive. Nobody boxes out.
That will be on film session tomorrow. Guys, where's our weak side rotation and blockouts?
Checking into the game is Yannick Conan Niederhauser for the Huskies, so they come with more size. Hunter Salas, though, got all the way into the rim. Hunter was 6.
He lost his shoe.
And he lost his wheel. He got it back on. I know it's not tied up tight. Deshaun Williams right at Malachi Smith, and he scores. Williams with 21.
He's chasing a season high. He's had 28 twice.
He's stronger than that 175. I'll tell you what.
Ben Gregg, open 3. Bingo! Ben with 7.
Well, that's where he's different than Drew Timme in pick and roll situations. Timme gets to that short roll area. Ben Gregg will space out, so it's a longer rotation.
Coit drives off the glass, no good, loose. Picked up and dropped. And a chance for 3 for Anthony Crump. Huskies are just winning all the 50-50 battles right now for loose balls. Williams the drive. That drops through. And then Ben Gregg from downtown. 10-point game. Zags can't pull away. 11:47 to play. Zagville still excited, making noise. Zags up by 10 on Northern Illinois, 58-48. Gonzaga Hoops Play of the Game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. Guys, I think it's simple. The Huskies have had more energy.
They have played with a ton of energy. They've had a nice game plan of basically daring Drew Timme to beat them single-handedly. Gonzaga needs to have someone else step up and make some plays. We got to see, very rarely do we get to see an opposing team come in here and get the play of the game. But that was a spectacular lob finish from Keyshawn Williams.
Keyshawn with 21 points, 3 assists. Right now it's Anthony Crump. His season high is 19 points, career high is 16, and he can tie that. He can tie that with a free throw here. And he ties his career high as 16. Already with his season high.
Same play they ran a second ago, high-low to Drew in the middle again.
Hunter, Ben Gregg, 10 on the shot clock for Timme. Skip into the corner. Malachi Smith, bingo! Smith with 8. That's his second connection from behind the line. And a whistle and a timeout. What do we have? Oh, we got blood on somebody, I believe.
Niederhauser looking at his hand.
So 30-second timeout here, I think. And I think they're going to run him to the oh, just back in the tunnel.
I'm not sure that's not a dislocated finger. You ever did that, Dan?
I have.
That's
Painful.
And he's replaced by number 23, Harvin Ibargwin. You guys think it was dislocated? I think they're looking for droplets of
blood. Are they looking for blood?
Maybe it's hard to say.
You know what? This is a good example of not speculating about injury with broadcasters, so my apologies.
This is going to end up in some broadcast class.
Yes, this is what not to do,
This
children.
is what not to do. Williams with 21 points in the basketball. Great. 12 on the shot clock for Williams. Timme with the hedge. Bolton chasing. Skip into the corner. Smith there defensively. Crump goes to work on Timme. Just barely got it off. And a foul called on Drew Timme.
That was about to be their best defensive possession since early in the first half. They ran the exact same play where they got Keyshawn Williams the lob dunk in that first half. They sniffed it out, took it away, and then to foul as the shot clock buzzer's going on.
It's a foul, too. That's an automatic for officials.
Yes.
Crump with 16 points. Make it 17, a new career high. He's 7 of 8 from the floor, 6 rebounds. Those are pretty efficient numbers, to say the least.
Averaging 3 points a game coming into tonight.
It's usually somebody who has a big game from behind the arc that normally doesn't. This guy's killing him on the post.
Oh, he's got an opportunity. There's 4 Huskies out with injuries tonight, so it's provided more opportunities for a guy like Crump, and he's making the most of it.
11-point Gonzaga lead. Rozier. Ben Gregg. 10 on the shot clock. Timme. Backing in, creates space. Missed it. And the rebound, Ibargwin. And the Huskies back on 0. Williams, Ibargwin. Big slap. I heard a slap on the hand there. Missed the shot. Bolton trips and falls in transition. He's fouled, but landed right on the ball.
Take a minute.
Yeah, he can have it. Rozier, a 90% free throw shooter. Still tonight, he's now 2 of 4 in the game. Rozier hits them both, now with 5 points. Zags up by 13. Salas trying to strip it. Deflection got in the corner anyway. Williams 9 on the shot clock. Salas doing a good job. 3 on the way. Poked by Greg to Timmy.
Great defense from Salas, just sitting on that crossover.
Good movement. Williams. Malachi, his third 3 from downtown.
Another excellent decision there from Hunter Salas. He had a shot there in the corner, but made the extra pass. Led to the shot from Smith. Good ball movement.
Timeout on the floor. Gonzaga now with their largest lead of the game at 66-50. 9:22 to play. Zags 11 of 18 shooting in this half. Hunter Salas, guys.
Great individual challenge. The way Keyshawn Williams is playing. Defensively took the challenge, the extra pass, Malachi Smith to knock down 3.
Zags now with 24 points off their bench. Malachi Smith with 11. I believe in that. That shot is too good. Before we get to the end of the year, Malachi is going to be a big part.
Well, he's had good games, good moments.
Yeah.
It's about, I think, finding that consistency in this new role. But look, I mean, he averaged 28 game last year, 7 rebounds, and he's shooting it at a good clip. It's just, you know, I think, Dan, you can speak to this. When you're the guy and you've got all the freedom in the world offensively, you come to Gonzaga and now you've got to play a role. 100%. It takes some time to figure out, you know, pick your spots, understand when you're going to have those opportunities to score.
Average 20 a year. It was a Southern Player of the Year. So yes, there is an adjustment.
Williams driving, lost the handle, ball loose, picked up by Crump, but he lost it out of bounds. Turnover number 13.
Two guys off the bench. Salas initially on the defense with Williams, and then Ben Gregg on the floor trying to get the ball.
I think Greg continues to look more comfortable each night out.
It feels like the game is slowed down.
Yeah.
The pass caught to Malachi, fights it up. Ben Gregg offensive rebound, cut back is good. Ben Gregg with 9.
Ties a career high, which is what he had against Purdue.
And now the strip by Gregg. Pass up to Ben, and he missed the flush. Smith with the rebound, got it back to Ben. He's up, and now a chance for 3.
Drew Timmy's giving him a bit of an earful about missing the dunk.
Yeah,
it might have been a block.
Better.
I think it was a block. Tremendous defensive play from Klimtauskas. But 3 could be better than 2 if he knocks down this free throw.
Big Ben. There's always suspense with Ben Gregg. There's always suspense. Zags up by 21. Trying to really open it up. Hickman guarding the ball. Williams, step back 3, long, loose ball. Crump ended up with it, threw it in over Smith. Hey, what's this Crump kid can play?
I had to look at it like 4 times. 3 points a game.
Yeah, the impact he's had, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just looks like he's been playing major minutes all year.
But he's 8 of 10, and that wasn't an easy shot he just made. Rebound there, and that shot by Crump ended a 10-0 Gonzaga run. Crump is 8 of 10, 7 rebounds, 3 of 4 from the line. Coit, step back. That's a nice bucket.
You just tip your hat to him. That's a tough shot.
Anton Watson spins. Shot blocked by guess who?
Crump.
Yes. Good guess. Crump doing everything right now for the Huskies. Zags up by 17. Gonzaga fan of the game brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. It's got to be Santa, right?
Are we going to go ugly sweaters this year?
I hope not.
Okay.
What's the last game before Christmas? Montana?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, isn't Easter? When's Eastern Oregon? Isn't it?
That's after Christmas.
That's after
28.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't.
Montana the 20th. You're right.
I think Chauncey will let us wear ugly sweaters.
There's the upcoming schedule. They ready for Alabama on Saturday, guys?
They're going to have to be. That team, what a finish to knock off #1 at the time, Houston, on the road. Down 15 in the second half.
I still don't know how you do that. Down 15 against that defense on the road and you still win. I watched the game. I still don't know how it happened. Watson drives in the baseline. Nice finish. Watson with 6. And back to the ugly sweaters. I don't own any sweaters.
Like not one?
No, you look. I'm like a.
Literally, you don't have one sweater.
I'm like a big polar bear. Like sweaters are hot. They make you hot.
This is a guy that wears shorts in sub-freezing weather every time I've seen him.
What's sub-freezing to you?
Below freezing, so 32 degrees and below.
Yeah, that's not freezing. I don't care what your science media tells you. Shot off by Nutter. Offensive rebound. Did that hit the rim? And a foul call. And this will be on Drew Timme. And that'll be number 3 on Drew. 6:23 to go. Tell you what, I think last week in those victories against Fresno State and Washington, I've never seen a Gonzaga player have to work harder over 2 games than Drew Timme.
Yeah, Kent State.
Kent State and Washington. What did I say?
Fresno State.
Oh, Kent State. You guys agree?
No, he just carries such a load, particularly offensively. You know, I'm hard-pressed to think of another guy that's come through the program that on his own has had to do as much as Drew does on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, can you guys think of another one?
Very rarely does he get easy buckets. He's not a wing that gets wide pin downs run for him or a ball handler with a pick and roll. He's creating opportunities so many times through his footwork, shot fakes. Like, look at that opportunity right there. The patience, the footwork, the step through. To draw that foul is a ton of work and effort, and he does it constantly through the game.
Drew going to the line, 24 points. 6 of 7 from the line tonight.
So, Richard, as a big, obviously...
Well, you sure this
in
question's not for Greg?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. No, seriously, why are you turning to him?
I'm going to turn this way and ignore the guy to my right. But when you're a big working on your skill set, what is it about angles? What is it about footwork that is taught, or some of it's just innate? What's the balance?
Well,
there?
I think a lot of what Drew has is innate. He just has an incredible feel. But yes, you certainly can learn what it means to create those angles. And you know what a lot of guys struggle with is understanding as Drew knocks down the free throw, do your work early. So many guys, even when they get good position, they let the defender get right on their back. You've got to hold them off, because often you're scoring before you ever get the ball, because you get that position, you can get into a drop step or get that defender, you know, on one side of you or the other. But no, what Drew has is it's different. It's special. You know, you're not going to see this very often.
Under 6 minutes to play. Coit falling away over Bolton. He's got 7.
He's just as shifty as Williams is. Undersized, but his ability to get a little fade there, create some space.
Bolton, open 3. Rimmed out. Watson trying to save it, but it can't. Goes to Northern Illinois. Nothing easy for this team to this point. And I don't mean just tonight. It's just one of those years, one of these teams. You know, and you go back, Adam Morrison's team, and when you go back and look at that year, he didn't win a lot of games easily. A lot of those games were close.
But you still had a guy like J.P. Batista.
Totally.
You know, you had 2 guys that.
Yes. This team should have, right, with Julie. When Julian's going and Drew's going, I think the similarities are there. Adam's team, well, you got to listen to what I'm saying, Dan, before you shake your head. This team does not win. It's like we haven't had, you know, blowout wins, just like Adam's team didn't. It had a great scorer, and it had this wingman kind of guy in J.P. Batista.
Quite frankly, they're still learning their way and where the secondary points are going to come from. More times than not early, it's been Strother. But, you know, this program has been so good on the offensive end. They've led the country in scoring per game the last 4 years. They've been, you know, top 2 or 3 in offensive efficiency in that stretch as well. This wasn't a year where you just roll the ball out and you're almost perfect in November, like a couple times it's been.
I think the potential of this team is greater because of all the extra pieces that will get better as the season progresses. Hunter and Nolan, Malachi, Smith, corner 3. Malachi with 14. He's 4 of 5 from downtown. Zags up by 18. Coit drives. Salad strip.
Uh-oh.
Here's Hunter. Open 4. Zags up by 20.
Salas poking the ball away. How about that? Wow.
Stripped it on one end, dunked it on the other. That's showtime. And Hunter back on defense. Williams turn around, fall away Jay.
That's excellent defense from Hunter.
Yeah.
That's just a big time shot from Williams. I mean,
Malachi, heat check. Williams the rebound. He's down the lane. He lost it on the way up and will shoot free throws. Guys, Malachi is now 13 of 28 this season from behind that three-point line. 3:44 to play in Spokane. Zags up by 18. And welcome back. Time now to announce tonight's player of the game presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. And it is players tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been the difference for Gonzaga tonight. It's been their production off the bench. Salas on both ends. Ben Gregg showing the range. Smith's been exceptional from the three-point line. 4 of 6. Gonzaga's bench, 34 points, 13 rebounds. 5 of 7 from the three-point line. And you're going to have nights like this where, you know, the guys who start the game maybe don't have it. And this is where you see the depth come in and have a real impact.
You know, you say we're going to have nights like these. 3:44 away from possibly a 20-point win. College basketball.
No,
Oh, nights like this where you need your depth to step up. And, you know, we've seen that tonight. Ben Gregg, the last 7 games, is starting to turn into the player that everyone thought when he came out of high school early to join that team.
How about this? There's 3 Zags in double figures. Drew Timme.
Yep.
Ben Gregg, Malachi Smith.
Well, that's just the think about the luxury that is, though.
Yes. Ben, 3 ball, long. Anton Watson, offensive rebound. Here's Ben cutting through, and he's blocked and fouled. And that will go against Anthony Crump.
Greg didn't make the initial 3. Watson came up with the offensive rebound, but that is the type of play that I think Nolan Hickman needs to keep getting better at. He's gotten better at it. In the pick and roll situation, drag the big defender with him just a little bit more, create some more space. The throwback, longer rotation. I think Nolan Hickman's getting better at those little things.
Yeah, he's, you know, been solid with the ball all year. 4 assists, no turnovers tonight. That's a big part of that position, as you know, Dan.
Ben Gregg now with 14 points. A new career high for him. 5 of 5 from the line, 5 rebounds, and a dime. 15 on the shot clock.
Whoa.
Just a bit high by Ibargwin. They caught an updraft.
It's like me playing video games against my son when I don't know how to hit the button right.
Ben Gregg, jump hook, tip back, Watson, loose, grab by Williams.
Watson been all over the glass tonight. 4 offensive rebounds.
7 total. Crump. I think Watson had a hand on that ball and a foot on the end line. 2:30 to play. Zags are going to get to 8 and 3. Shot from the corner is off. Malachi Smith the rebound, and then it's off to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Tip back, Ben Gregg, 2 more.
What's your thoughts on that game, Dan?
Alabama's talented. Maybe the best freshman in the country in Brandon Miller. Ron Quinterly, the point guard, is back. They obviously beat Gonzaga a year ago in the battle in Seattle. It's a unique team that Coach Nate Oates was coaching high school 10 years ago in Detroit. He now leads an unbelievable program at Alabama, but they're solely based on threes, layups, and getting to the free throw line. A mid-range shot is not good in their books. It's a very unique style.
What do you think, Richard?
Well, I'm thinking about the comment you made when we looked at the top 10 defense in that top, you know, the top 5 of the top 10. I think that's what the game's going to come down to. That.
Yeah.
Gonzaga's got to guard them for 40 minutes. They're so explosive, and they put you in a really difficult spot with the volume of threes that they want to take, and they've got the athletes to finish in transition, finish when they attack the rim.
Hampton Reed and Dominic Harris checking in for Gonzaga as we take a look at the next 5 games. Day is done for Anton Watson and Nolan Hickman. Saturday against Bama, then they're home against Montana, Eastern Oregon, and Pepperdine was out this year.
3 more games before WCC play begins. I know you guys always give me a hard time when I say the WCC is really good.
Man, we've got 3 games left before
so I'm not going there today.
No, it's not. No, that's not what you ever say. Of course it's good. You're like, this is the greatest it's ever been.
Every year.
Every year.
Pepperdine with Maxwell Lewis might have the best
Here we
NBA
go.
prospect in the league.
It's never been better.
All right, Greg, just lay out. Let him do his thing.
Smith clears the miss. There's Dom Harris in the corner. Ben Gregg back to Don. Hunter Salas, 10 on the shot clock. Efton Reed. Malachi back to Efton. Jump hook. Rimmed out. Efton needed a reset. Got it. Missed the shot. Minute 9 to play. Boy, strong drive there and the finish. Zarik Nutter. Yeah. Is there a big win in the West Coast Conference yet this year, Dan? Is there a big win?
I'm trying to think. St. Mary's just had a good win. Drawing a blank on who it was against. They almost
It was against San Diego State.
There you go. In Phoenix, yeah. They played Houston tough. I believe lost by 4 or 5.
We don't really know how good San Diego State is yet, though.
They were ranked 22nd, I believe.
I know the Zags were ranked number 2 at one time. Carolina was ranked number 1 at one time.
You like playing devil's advocate, don't you?
I love it. It's what I do best.
You just lit up right there.
I love it.
Oh, I just love it.
Sat up in his seat. He was laying his head down on the table right before that.
My opinions may not even be my beliefs. My opinions are strictly to create
What? I'm sorry, say it again?
Reaction.
What? Say that one more time, please.
My opinions may not even be my own beliefs.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I say things.
You don't even know.
I say things to get reactions from you.
Can I have that made into a T-shirt?
Yes. Ben Gregg! Oh, what a finish. The big man having a game.
A nice dime there from Harris.
Ben with 18, fought through contact.
University of Portland off to a nice start. They beat Villanova, even though Nova's down a little bit this year. They played Michigan State and North Carolina tough. In the PK 85.
They played them tough. In the win-loss column, there isn't another column that says it was tough. Hunter Salas, the drive left-hand finish. He's good. He is so good.
Got to find a way for him to play a ton, man.
Taku Youngblood, number 1 with the basketball. I'll leave that one alone, Dan. I will not read that on the air. And no shot coming here. 88-67, the final. So, gentlemen, not a thing of beauty, but 71 consecutive at home now, and they're 8-3.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning the game. A lot of credit to Northern Illinois. I thought they played their heart out. Great response after getting blown out at Idaho. Interesting game plan tonight. Really effectively allowing Drew Timme to do what they wanted to do. But Gonzaga found a way to win in the end.
The Drew Timme show. What more can you say? 26 points and great effort off the bench as well.
4 Zags in double figures. Salas, Smith, Gregg, and Drew Timme. Zags now 8-3. 71 consecutive at home. Drew Timme now number 7 on the Gonzaga scoring list all time. For Richard Fox, Dan Dickau, I'm Greg Heister. Good night from the McCarthy Athletic Center. Zags winners.